Maya stood in her father's office with her arms crossed. She knew she was in big trouble. Chief Rodriguez sat behind his large wooden desk. His face was red with anger. He had never looked at her like this before. "Do you understand what you have done?" her father asked. His voice was low and dangerous. Maya said nothing. She looked at the floor. Her expensive high heels felt uncomfortable now. Everything felt uncomfortable. You were caught gambling with the mayor's son. You owe money to very bad people. Do you know what this means for our family? Chief Rodriguez stood up from his chair. "I am the police chief of this town. Everyone respects our name, and you have ruined it," Maya wanted to explain. She wanted to tell him that it was not all her fault. The mayor's son had pulled her into this mess, but her father did not want to hear it. She could see that in his eyes. "I have made a decision," her father said. He walked to the window and looked outside. "You will marry Jake Morrison." Maya's head shot up. "What, the cowboy from the Morrison ranch?" "Father, you cannot be serious." "I am very serious." Chief Rodriguez turned to face her. "Jake needs land rights. We need to fix your reputation. This marriage will solve both problems. But I do not love him. I do not even know him." Maya's voice was shaking now. She felt tears in her eyes, but she would not cry. Not in front of her father. "Love?" Her father laughed, but there was no humor in it. "This is not about love. This is about saving our family name. You should have thought about love before you destroyed our reputation." Maya felt like the room was spinning. Marriage. To a cowboy. A man who worked with his hands and lived in a small ranch house. This could not be happening. "You will marry him in 2 weeks," her father said. "Jake has already agreed. Everything is arranged. And if I say no?" Maya asked, even though she already knew the answer. Her father sat back down at his desk. He looked tired suddenly. "Then you are not my daughter anymore. You will leave this house with nothing. No money, no family, no name. Choose." Maya felt her world crashing down. She had no choice at all. 2 weeks later, Maya stood in a small church. She wore an expensive white dress that her mother had picked out. But the church was almost empty. Only close family was there. No big celebration, no party. This was a wedding that people wanted to forget, not remember. Jake Morrison stood at the altar. He wore a clean suit that looked new. His boots were polished. His dark hair was combed back neatly. Maya had to admit he was handsome in a rough kind of way. Strong jaw, broad shoulders, and dark eyes that seemed to see too much. But she hated him anyway. She hated that he had agreed to this. She hated that he was part of her punishment. The priest spoke the words. Maya did not really hear them. She felt like she was watching this happen to someone else. When it was time to say "I do," she whispered it so quietly that the priest had to ask her to repeat it. Jake's voice was strong and clear when he said his vows. Maya refused to look at him. She stared at the priest's shoulder instead. When Jake lifted her veil to kiss her, she turned her face at the last second. His lips touched her cheek instead of her mouth. She heard her father make an angry sound from the first row. The reception was short and painful. People smiled, but their smiles were fake. Everyone knew this was not a real wedding. This was a business deal. A punishment. Maya drank too much champagne. She wanted to forget where she was. She wanted to forget what was about to happen next. Finally, it was time to leave. Jake's old truck was parked outside the church. It looked dirty and old next to all the nice cars. Maya stared at it with disgust. "Ready?" Jake asked. It was the first word he had spoken directly to her all day. Maya did not answer. She just walked to the truck. She had 3 suitcases full of clothes and shoes. Jake lifted them easily into the back of the truck. He opened the passenger door for her. Maya climbed in without saying thank you. She sat as far from Jake as possible. She pressed herself against the door. The drive to the Morrison ranch took 40 minutes. They did not speak at all. Maya watched the town disappear behind them. She watched the buildings turn into fields. The paved roads turned into dirt roads. Jake's ranch was small. The house was old but clean. There were horses in a fenced area. Chickens walked around freely. Everything smelled like animals and hay. Maya felt sick. This was her life now. This place. This man. Jake parked the truck and got out. He grabbed her suitcases. Maya stayed in the truck for a moment. She did not want to move. If she did not move, maybe this was not real. "You can sit there all night if you want," Jake said. His voice was not mean, just tired. "But it gets cold after dark." Maya finally got out of the truck. She followed Jake to the house. The porch steps creaked under her feet. Inside, the house was simple. Clean but old. Nothing like her father's big house in town. "Your room is upstairs," Jake said, carrying her suitcases up the narrow stairs. Second door on the left. Maya followed him. The bedroom was small. There was a bed, a dresser, and a window. That was all. The bed had a simple quilt on it. Everything was plain and ordinary. Jake set her suitcases down. "Bathroom is across the hall. Kitchen is downstairs if you get hungry." He started to leave, but Maya spoke. Her voice came out harder than she meant. "So what now? You got what you wanted. Land rights. A wife?" Jake stopped at the door. He turned to look at her. His face was difficult to read. "I do not think either of us got what we wanted," he said quietly. "When do you—" Maya could not finish the sentence. But they both knew what she was asking. When would he demand his rights as her husband? Jake's face changed. He looked almost sad. "I am not that kind of man," he said. "You sleep where you are comfortable. This is your room. I will be downstairs if you need anything." He left before Maya could respond. She heard his boots on the stairs. Then she heard a door close somewhere below. Maya sat on the bed. She did not know what to feel. She expected him to be rough. She expected him to force himself on her. That was what men like him did, was it not? Cowboys. Simple men who took what they wanted. But he had just walked away. Maya looked around the small room. This was her prison now. She was married to a stranger, living in a place she did not want to be, all because of her own stupid mistakes. She finally let herself cry. She cried for her old life. She cried for her freedom. She cried because she was scared and alone. Outside her window, she could hear the sounds of the ranch, horses moving in the darkness, an owl calling. The wind in the trees. Tomorrow her new life would begin. Tonight she was just a girl who had lost everything. A girl who had been punished by being forced to marry a cowboy she did not know. But somewhere in the house below, Jake Morrison sat in his own room. He looked at the simple gold ring on his finger. He had not wanted this either. But life had a funny way of giving people what they did not expect. He thought about the angry girl upstairs. She hated him. That was clear. But he had seen something else in her eyes too. Fear, sadness, loneliness. Jake knew about all those things. He had felt them himself. Maybe this marriage was a punishment for her. But Jake decided right then that he would not make it worse. He would give her time. He would give her space. He would show her that not all cowboys were what she expected. Time would tell if that was enough. Maya woke up to the sound of a rooster. The sun was just coming up. She looked around the strange room and remembered where she was. For a moment she hoped it had all been a bad dream. But the plain walls and simple furniture told her it was real. She could smell coffee. Someone was cooking downstairs. Maya put on one of her expensive dresses. It was silk and cream-colored. Perfect for a lunch in town, not perfect for a ranch. But she did not care. She was not going to dress like a farm girl. When she came downstairs, Jake was in the kitchen. He wore jeans and a work shirt. His boots were already dirty. He had clearly been outside already. "Morning," he said. He poured coffee into a mug and held it out to her. "Hope you like it strong." Maya took the coffee without saying thank you. She looked at the kitchen table. There were eggs, bacon, and toast. Simple food, but it smelled good. "You should eat something," Jake said. He was already eating his own breakfast. "We start work at 6:30 on a ranch." "We?" Maya raised an eyebrow. "I do not do ranch work." Jake looked at her dress, then at her face. "Well, you live on a ranch now. Everyone works. But you can start slow. Today, just come watch. Learn how things work here." Maya wanted to refuse. She wanted to stay in the house all day. But something in Jake's tone made it clear that was not an option. After breakfast, Maya followed Jake outside. Her expensive shoes were not made for dirt and mud. Within 5 minutes, they were ruined. She tried to walk carefully, but it was impossible. Jake noticed but did not say anything. He just walked slower so she could keep up. First, they went to the chicken coop. Jake showed her how to collect eggs. It looked easy when he did it. But when Maya tried, the chickens made loud, angry sounds. One of them pecked at her hand. "Ow!" Maya jumped back. There was a small red mark on her hand. Jake took her hand gently and looked at it. His hands were rough and calloused, but his touch was soft. "It is just a small peck. You will be okay. He let go of her hand quickly. The chickens can tell when you are nervous. Try to be calm. Maya tried again. This time she got 3 eggs without getting pecked. It was a small victory, but it felt good somehow. Next, they went to the horses. There were 5 of them. They were beautiful animals with shiny coats. This is Bella, Jake said, petting a brown horse with a white spot on her nose. She is the gentlest one. Would you like to feed her? Maya nodded. She was afraid, but she did not want Jake to know that. Jake showed her how to hold the apple flat on her palm. Keep your fingers straight. She will not bite you if you do it right. Maya held out her shaking hand. Bella's soft nose touched her palm. Then the apple was gone. Bella made a happy sound. Maya could not help but smile. Just a little. See? Not so hard, Jake said. He was smiling too. The days turned into a week. Then 2 weeks. Every morning, Maya woke up early. Every morning, Jake taught her something new about the ranch. How to mend a fence. How to brush a horse. How to know if an animal was sick. Maya's expensive clothes got dirty and torn. Her nails broke. Her soft hands got small cuts and bruises. She hated it at first. She complained a lot, but Jake never got angry. He just kept teaching her patiently. When she did something wrong, he showed her the right way. When she did something right, he told her she did a good job. Slowly, something started to change. Maya started to feel useful. She started to understand the rhythm of ranch life. Wake up with the sun. Take care of the animals. Fix what was broken. Go to sleep when it got dark. It was simple. It was hard work, but it was also honest. One evening, Maya was sitting on the porch steps. Her whole body hurt from the day's work, but it was a good kind of hurt. She felt like she had earned her tiredness. Jake came and sat next to her. He handed her a cold glass of lemonade. They sat in silence for a while, watching the sun go down. You are learning fast, Jake said finally. Faster than I expected. Maya felt a strange warmth at his words. When was the last time someone had praised her? Really praised her for something she did, not just for how she looked or whose daughter she was. Thank you, she said quietly. It was the first real thank you she had said to him. Jake looked at her. Their eyes met for a moment. Then they both looked away quickly. 3 weeks after the wedding, a big storm came. Maya could see it building all day. Dark clouds rolled in from the west. The wind picked up. The animals were nervous. By dinner time, the rain started. Then came the thunder. Loud booming sounds that shook the house. Maya tried to act normal. She helped Jake bring in firewood. She made sure all the windows were closed. But her hands were shaking. Lightning flashed across the sky. The thunder followed immediately. It was so loud it hurt her ears. Maya dropped the plate she was holding. It crashed on the floor and broke into pieces. Sorry, she started to say, but another lightning strike cut her off. This one was even closer. The whole house lit up white. Maya could not breathe. Her heart was beating too fast. She felt like she was going to die. All she could see was lightning. All she could hear was thunder. She did not remember going upstairs. She did not remember getting into bed. All she knew was that she was in her room, shaking with her hands over her ears. The storm got worse. Rain pounded on the roof. Thunder crashed again and again. Maya curled up in a ball on her bed. She was crying, but she could not stop. Then she heard footsteps on the stairs. Her door opened. Jake stood there. He took one look at her and came into the room without asking. Hey, he said softly. He sat on the edge of her bed. It is okay. It is just a storm. I hate storms, Maya managed to say between sobs. I have hated them since I was little. I cannot help it. I know it is stupid. It is not stupid, Jake said. His voice was calm and steady. Everyone is afraid of something. Another crack of thunder made Maya jump. Without thinking, she grabbed Jake's hand. She held on tight like it was the only thing keeping her from flying apart. Jake did not pull away. He just held her hand and started talking. He told her about the ranch. About the first horse he ever rode. About the time he fell in a creek and had to walk home soaking wet. He told her funny stories and calm stories. His voice was low and soothing. Maya focused on his voice instead of the storm. Slowly, her breathing calmed down. Her heart stopped racing, but she did not let go of his hand. The storm lasted for 2 hours. Jake stayed the whole time. He just sat there holding her hand, talking when the thunder got loud and quiet when it got softer. Finally, the rain started to slow down. The thunder moved farther away. The storm was passing. Jake started to stand up. "I should let you sleep now." But Maya did not let go of his hand. "Stay," she whispered. She did not know where the word came from. She surprised herself by saying it. Jake looked at her. In the dim light from the window, she could not read his expression. "Maya, please," she said. "Just stay." "I do not want to be alone." Jake sat back down. He did not say anything. He just stayed there on the edge of her bed. Maya could feel the warmth of his hand in hers. His thumb moved slightly, rubbing gentle circles on her palm. It was such a small movement, but it sent a strange feeling through her whole body. Her wrist was near his other hand. Without thinking, he touched it, just his fingertips on her pulse point, checking if her heart was still racing. Maya gasped. It was not fear this time. It was something else, something she did not have a name for. The touch of his rough fingers on the inside of her wrist felt like electricity. Her whole arm tingled. She felt warm all over. Jake pulled his hand back quickly. "Sorry, I was just—" "Do not be sorry," Maya said. Her voice sounded strange to her own ears. "Your hands—" "They are so gentle. I did not expect that." They sat in silence. Jake still held her other hand. Neither of them moved. "You should sleep," Jake said finally. But he did not get up. "Will you stay until I fall asleep?" Maya asked. Jake nodded. "Yes." Maya lay down, but she did not let go of his hand. Jake sat there in the darkness watching over her. His hand was warm and strong in hers. For the first time since the wedding, Maya felt safe. For the first time, she looked at Jake and did not see her punishment. She saw a man who was kind, a man who stayed with her during a storm even though he did not have to. As she drifted off to sleep, she realized something had changed between them. That simple touch of his thumb on her palm, his fingers on her wrist, it had woken something up inside her, something she was not ready to name yet, something that scared her more than any storm. Jake sat there long after Maya fell asleep. He looked at her face, peaceful now in sleep. He thought about how her hand felt in his, small and soft, how her pulse had raced under his fingertips. He had not wanted to marry her. But now, sitting here in the dark, he admitted something to himself. He was starting to care about her, more than he should, more than was safe. This was supposed to be just an arrangement, but feelings did not follow arrangements. They followed their own path. Jake carefully let go of Maya's hand. He left the room quietly and went downstairs, but he could still feel the warmth of her skin. He could still see the way she had looked at him after he touched her wrist. Everything was getting complicated, and Jake had a feeling it was only going to get more complicated from here. The morning after the storm, everything felt different. Maya woke up and the first thing she thought about was Jake, his hand holding hers, his gentle touch on her wrist. The way his voice had calmed her fear. She touched her own wrist where his fingers had been. Her skin still tingled at the memory. This was dangerous. She should not be thinking about him like this. This was an arranged marriage. A punishment. She was not supposed to develop feelings, but her heart did not seem to care what she was supposed to do. Maya got dressed and went downstairs. Jake was already in the kitchen making breakfast. He looked up when she came in. "How did you sleep?" he asked. "Better. Thank you for staying with me last night," Maya said. She felt shy suddenly, like something between them had shifted and she did not know how to act now. "Any time," Jake said. His eyes met hers for a moment longer than necessary. Then he looked away and poured her coffee. They ate breakfast in silence. But it was not an uncomfortable silence anymore. It was something else, something charged with tension that neither of them wanted to name. After breakfast, they went out to do the morning chores. Maya was getting better at ranch work now. She could collect eggs without the chickens attacking her. She could feed the horses without being afraid. But today she kept finding reasons to be near Jake. When he showed her how to check the fence for damage, she stood close enough to feel his body heat. When he helped her lift a heavy bucket, her hand touched his and she let it linger. Jake noticed. Of course he noticed. But he did not say anything. He just kept working, though Maya saw him glance at her when he thought she was not looking. The days that followed were full of this new tension. Maya could not stop thinking about Jake. She watched him work without his shirt in the hot sun. She noticed how strong his arms were, how his body moved with easy grace, how his hands, so rough and calloused, were always gentle with the animals. She started to wonder what those hands would feel like on her skin, not just holding her hand during a storm, but touching her other places, everywhere. The thought made her blush. She had never felt this way before. This hunger, this need. Maya started making excuses to touch him. She would ask for help with things she could probably do herself. She would stand too close when he taught her something new. She would let her hand brush against his arm or his back. Jake was patient, but she could see the tension in his jaw, the way his hands would clench and unclench when she got too close. He wanted her too. She could feel it, but he was holding back, being respectful, waiting for some signal from her. Maya did not know how to give that signal. She had never seduced anyone before. She had never wanted to, but she wanted Jake. She wanted him to touch her the way she had imagined in her secret thoughts. One evening, about 5 weeks after their wedding, Jake was teaching her how to rope a fence post. It was a skill she needed to learn for ranch work. Maya kept missing the post. The rope would not go where she wanted it to go. "Here, let me show you," Jake said. He moved behind her, his chest pressed against her back. His arms came around her to guide her hands on the rope. Maya could barely breathe. She could feel every inch of him against her. His warmth, his strength, the steady beat of his heart against her shoulder blade. "You hold it like this," Jake said. His voice was rough, like he was having trouble breathing too. "Then you throw from here." His hands covered hers. He guided her arms through the motion. The rope flew out and caught the post perfectly. "See? You did it," Jake said. But he did not step back. He stayed there, pressed against her, his arms still around her. Maya leaned back into him. She felt him tense. His breath caught. "Maya," he said softly. It sounded like a warning. "We should not." Maya turned in his arms. Suddenly they were face to face, so close. His dark eyes looked into hers. She could see desire there. And something else, tenderness, why not? Maya whispered. "I am your wife." "This marriage was not your choice," Jake said. His hands moved to her waist, but he did not pull her closer. He just held her there. "I do not want you to feel like you have to." Maya put her hands on his chest. She could feel his heart pounding. "Jake, I want this. I want you, please." She saw the exact moment his control broke. His eyes darkened. His hands tightened on her waist. "Are you sure?" he asked. His voice was barely above a whisper. "I have never been more sure of anything," Maya said. She was surprised to find it was true. "Please, Jake, touch me. I am begging you." Jake made a sound low in his throat. Then his mouth was on hers. The kiss was not gentle. It was hungry, desperate, like he had been holding back for so long and could not do it anymore. Maya kissed him back with everything she had. Her hands moved up to his hair. His hands pulled her closer until there was no space between them. They stumbled toward the house, not breaking the kiss. Jake kicked the door closed behind them. He picked Maya up and she wrapped her legs around him. He carried her up the stairs to his room. Jake laid her on his bed gently. He looked down at her with dark eyes. "Last chance to change your mind," he said. "I do not want to change my mind," Maya said. She reached up and pulled him down to her. What happened next was nothing like Maya expected. She had thought a cowboy would be rough, quick, selfish, but Jake was none of those things. He took his time. His rough hands were surprisingly gentle on her skin. He kissed her slowly, deeply. He touched her like she was something precious, something to be treasured, not just used. He paid attention to every sound she made. Every time she gasped or sighed, he remembered what caused it and did it again. He learned her body like he was studying something important. When he finally made her his wife in truth, he moved slowly. He watched her face. He made sure she was okay. He whispered her name like it was a prayer, and when it was over, he held her close. He did not just roll over and go to sleep. He kept touching her softly, running his fingers through her hair, kissing her forehead, making her feel safe and wanted. Maya lay in his arms and felt tears on her cheeks. But they were not sad tears. They were tears of relief, of release, of realizing that intimacy could be like this, that she could feel this connected to another person. "Did I hurt you?" Jake asked, worried. He wiped her tears with his thumb. "No," Maya said. She smiled through her tears. "No, you were perfect. I never knew it could be like this." Jake pulled her closer. "It is like this when you care about the other person," he said quietly. Maya's heart jumped. "Do you care about me?" Jake was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Yes, I know I should not. This was supposed to be just an arrangement. But yes, Maya, I care about you. More than I should." Maya felt joy burst through her chest. "I care about you too," she whispered. "I did not want to. I tried not to. But I do." They fell asleep tangled together. For the first time since their wedding night, they slept in the same bed. But this time it was by choice. This time it meant something. The next morning, Maya woke up in Jake's arms. The sun was coming through the window. She could hear the birds outside. She felt peaceful in a way she had never felt before. Jake woke up and smiled at her. "Good morning, wife," he said. "Good morning, husband," Maya said back. And for the first time those words felt right. They got up and got dressed. They went downstairs and made breakfast together. Jake kept touching her. Little touches. A hand on her back. Fingers brushing her arm. Like he needed to keep contact with her. Maya touched him back. She was not shy about it anymore. She would lean against him while he cooked. She would kiss his shoulder when she walked past him. She felt free in a way she never had before. But their peace did not last long. That afternoon a truck drove up to the ranch. Maya looked out the window and her heart sank. It was her father's police car. Chief Rodriguez got out and walked to the house. He looked serious, angry even. Jake and Maya met him at the door. "Father," Maya said, "what are you doing here?" "I came to check on you," the chief said. He looked at Maya carefully. Then he looked at Jake. "Can I speak with my daughter?" "Alone?" Jake looked at Maya. She nodded. Jake squeezed her hand once and then walked outside to give them privacy. The chief looked around the small house. At Maya's simple clothes, at her tanned skin and broken nails. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I'm fine," Maya said. "You look different," her father said. "You look happy." Maya was surprised. "I am," she said. And she realized it was true. "I was angry at first. So angry at you for forcing this marriage. But Jake is a good man, Father. He has been kind to me, patient with me. He treats me with respect." The chief sat down heavily in a chair. "I expected to find you miserable, ready to leave him. But you are not, are you?" "No," Maya said firmly. "I am not leaving him. This is my home now. Jake is my husband, and I choose to be here." Her father looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. "I can see that. I can see it in your eyes. You love him?" Maya felt her cheeks get hot. "Yes," she whispered. "I do." "Does he love you?" the chief asked. "I think so," Maya said. "He has not said the exact words. But the way he looks at me, the way he treats me, yes, I think he does." The chief stood up. "I came here to offer you a way out, to tell you the marriage could be ended. But I can see you do not want that." "I do not," Maya said. "This marriage started as a punishment, but it has become the best thing that ever happened to me." Her father hugged her. It surprised Maya. The weeks after Maya told her father she was staying were the happiest of her life. She and Jake fell into an easy rhythm. They worked together during the day and fell into each other's arms at night. Maya learned more about ranch life every day. She was not the spoiled chief's daughter anymore. She could fix a fence, tend to sick animals, and handle the morning chores on her own. Her hands were rough now. Her skin was tanned, but she felt strong. She felt capable. Jake watched her bloom with pride in his eyes. He told her often how well she was doing, how much help she was. Maya discovered she loved his praise more than any fancy compliment about her looks. One Saturday morning, they drove into town for supplies. It was the first time Maya had been back since the wedding. She felt nervous. They walked down Main Street together. Jake held her hand. People stared. Maya knew what they were thinking. The police chief's daughter married to a simple cowboy. It was still the talk of the town, but Maya did not care anymore. She held Jake's hand tighter and lifted her chin high. Let them stare. Let them talk. She knew the truth. She had found something real. At the general store, they ran into some of her old friends. Girls she used to have lunch with. Girls who wore expensive clothes and talked about parties and shopping. "Maya," one of them said. She looked at Maya's simple jeans and work boots with poorly hidden shock. "Oh my goodness. We heard about your situation. Are you okay?" "I am better than okay," Maya said. She smiled at Jake. "I am happy." Her old friends looked confused. One of them leaned in and whispered, "You do not have to pretend, Maya. Everyone knows you were forced into this marriage. If you need help, I do not need help, Maya said firmly. Jake is my husband. I am exactly where I want to be. Jake squeezed her hand. Maya could feel how tense he was. He was uncomfortable with all the attention. She knew he did not like being the subject of town gossip. They finished their shopping quickly and left. On the drive home, Jake was quiet. Are you okay? Maya asked. I am sorry, Jake said. I know this is hard for you. Being with me? Having people talk. Maya put her hand on his arm. The only hard part is seeing how they treat you. Like you are less than them because you work with your hands. But I know the truth. You are worth 10 of them. Jake looked at her with such love in his eyes that it made her breath catch. How did I get so lucky? He asked. We both got lucky, Maya said. Even if it did not start that way. When they got home, there was another car waiting. Maya felt her stomach drop. It was her father again. But this time there were 2 other police officers with him. Jake and Maya got out of the truck. The chief's face was serious. Not angry like last time, but worried. Maya, Jake, we need to talk, the chief said. They went inside. The other officers stayed outside by the cars. The chief sat down at the kitchen table. Maya and Jake sat across from him. I have something to tell you both, the chief said. Something I should have told you from the beginning. Maya felt fear creep up her spine. What is it? Her father looked at Jake. Jake is not just a cowboy. He has been working undercover for me, investigating the corruption ring that caught Maya up in it. Maya's head spun. She looked at Jake. What? Is this true? Jake looked guilty. Yes, I am sorry. I should have told you. You knew? Maya felt betrayed. This whole time, you knew? Our marriage was part of some investigation. It started that way, Jake said quickly. Your father suggested it as a cover, to protect you while we finished investigating the mayor's son and his associates. But Maya, everything that happened between us, that was real. Maya stood up. She felt like she could not breathe. So what, you just pretended to care about me? Pretended to want me? All for some case? No, Jake stood too. He tried to take her hands, but she pulled away. No, Maya, I was not pretending. Not about us. Yes, the marriage started as cover. But I fell for you. Really fell for you. That was never part of the plan. Maya looked at her father. And you? You used both of us? You let me think I was being punished when really this was all just some plan. The chief looked uncomfortable. I am sorry. It seemed like the best way to handle things. The mayor's son had pulled you into something dangerous. Jake needed a reason to be close to the situation. The marriage solved both problems. I am not a problem to be solved, Maya shouted. I am a person. Both of you lied to me. Tears ran down her face. She felt so stupid. She had thought Jake really cared. She had thought their connection was real. But maybe it was all just an act. Part of his cover. Maya, please, Jake said. His voice was desperate. Let me explain. Explain what? That you are a liar? That our whole relationship is built on lies? Maya wiped her tears angrily. I need you both to leave now. The case is over, the chief said. We made arrests this morning. That is why I came to tell you. You are free, Maya. The marriage can be annulled if you want. Your name is cleared. The scandal is explained. You can come home. Maya looked between her father and Jake. Her father was offering her freedom, her old life back. Everything she thought she wanted when this started. But then she looked at Jake, really looked at him. She saw the pain in his eyes. The fear. He was scared of losing her. That was real. She could see it. Everyone leave, Maya said quietly. I need to think. The chief nodded and left. Jake started to go too, but Maya stopped him. Not you. We need to talk. After her father drove away, Maya and Jake stood in the kitchen. The silence was heavy between them. I should have told you, Jake said finally, about the investigation, about why your father really suggested our marriage. I wanted to tell you so many times, but the case was not finished. And then I fell in love with you, and I was afraid if I told you the truth you would leave. You love me? Maya asked. Her voice was small. Yes, Jake said without hesitation. I love you, Maya. I think I started falling for you that first night when you tried so hard to collect eggs and the chickens attacked you. You were so determined not to give up. And every day after that I fell a little more. The way you learned, the way you started to love the ranch, the way you looked at me. How do I know that is real? Maya asked. Tears filled her eyes again. How do I know you are not just saying what I want to hear? Jake stepped closer. Because I am telling you that you can leave. Your father cleared your name. You do not have to stay married to me. You can go back to your old life. I will not stop you. I will not hold you to vows made under false reasons. You want me to leave? Maya felt her heart break. No, Jake said. His voice cracked. God, no. I want you to stay more than anything. But I want it to be your choice. A real choice. Not because you feel trapped. Not because of the arrangement. I want you to choose me because you want to. Because you love me too. Maya looked at him. Really looked at him. She thought about the last 2 months. Yes, their marriage started with lies. But everything after that was real. The way he taught her with patience. The way he held her during the storm. The way he made love to her like she was precious. The way he looked at her every morning like she was the best thing in his world. That could not be faked. Not all of it. Not day after day. I do not want my old life back, Maya said slowly. That girl who wore expensive dresses and went to fancy lunches. She was not really living. She was just existing. Playing a part, she stepped closer to Jake. You woke me up. You showed me what it feels like to work hard for something. To be proud of myself. To feel useful and strong. And yes, you showed me what love feels like. Maya, Jake whispered. I am angry that you lied, Maya said. I will not pretend I am not. But I understand why. And when I think about leaving you, going back to town, living without you. She shook her head. I cannot do it. I do not want to do it. What are you saying? Jake asked. I am saying I choose you, Maya said. I choose this life. This ranch, us, not because I have to, not because of any arrangement, but because I want to, because I love you, Jake Morrison. Jake's face broke into a huge smile. He picked her up and spun her around. You love me? You really love me? I really love you, Maya laughed through her tears. Even though you are a liar and you let me think you were just a simple cowboy. I am a simple cowboy, Jake said, setting her down but not letting her go. The investigation was just a job. This, he gestured around them, this is my life. This ranch. And now you are my life, Maya. He kissed her then, deep and long and full of promise. Maya kissed him back and felt all the fear and anger melt away. This was right. They were right. That night they lay in bed together. Maya's head was on Jake's chest. She could hear his heartbeat steady and strong. Tell me about the investigation, she said. Tell me everything. No more secrets, so Jake told her. About how he had been working undercover for months before their marriage. About the mayor's son and his illegal gambling operation. About how Maya had been used by them without knowing it. About how her father had been trying to protect her while also bringing down the corrupt officials. Maya listened to it all. It hurt to hear how she had been used. But it also made sense. Her father had not punished her out of anger. He had tried to save her. I wish you had told me sooner, Maya said. I wish I had known I was not really being punished. That my father did not really hate me. He never hated you, Jake said. He was trying to keep you safe. We both were, by lying to me. Maya asked. It was not right, Jake admitted. 3 months had passed since Maya learned the truth about Jake and the investigation. Life had settled into something beautiful and real. Every morning she woke up in Jake's arms. Every day they worked the ranch together. Every night they fell asleep holding each other. Maya had changed so much from the girl who stood in her father's office being sentenced to marry a cowboy. Her hands were calloused now. Her skin was sun-kissed. She wore jeans and work boots more comfortably than she ever wore designer dresses. But the biggest change was inside. She was confident now. Strong. She knew who she was and what she wanted. And what she wanted was this life with Jake. One Saturday, her father called. He asked if he could visit. This time, Maya said yes without fear. The chief arrived in the afternoon. He brought Maya's mother with him. It was the first time her mother had visited the ranch. Maya's mother looked around the small house with worried eyes. Maya, darling, are you sure you are happy here? It is so small, Maya laughed. It is perfect, Mother. Come, let me show you around. She took her parents on a tour of the ranch. She showed them the horses and told them each of their names. She showed them the garden she had planted with Jake. She showed them the chicken coop where she collected eggs every morning. Her mother looked amazed. You do all this? Every day? Yes, Maya said proudly. I love it. I love working with my hands. I love taking care of the animals. I love seeing the results of my hard work. Her father watched her quietly. Finally, he said, "You look happy. Really happy. I have never seen you like this before." "That is because I have never been this happy before," Maya said. She looked toward the barn where Jake was working. "He is a good man, Father. The best man I know." "I know," the chief said. "That is why I chose him for you. Even if I did it the wrong way." Maya hugged her father. "I forgive you. I know you were trying to protect me. And it worked out better than either of us could have planned." Her mother wiped tears from her eyes. "I was so worried about you. I thought you would be miserable. But you are glowing. You are more yourself than you have ever been." They had dinner together that evening. Jake cooked steaks on the grill. They sat outside under the stars and talked and laughed. It felt good, like family was supposed to feel. Before her parents left, the chief pulled Maya aside. "I have something to tell you. The mayor's son has been convicted. The whole corruption ring has been taken down. The scandal that caught you up in it has been fully explained to the public. Your name is completely cleared." Maya waited. She knew there was more. "You are free," her father said. "Completely free. If you want to annul the marriage, you can. You can come back home. Go back to school. Live your life however you want," Maya smiled. "I am living my life how I want, Father. Right here. You do not want to leave?" her father asked. "Not even a little bit," Maya said. "This is my home now. Jake is my home." Her father hugged her tight. "I am glad, so glad. I was wrong to force you into this marriage, but I am grateful it brought you here, to this happiness." After her parents left, Maya found Jake in the barn. He was brushing down one of the horses. She came up behind him and wrapped her arms around his waist. "My father came to tell me I am free," Maya said. "The case is completely over. I can leave if I want." Jake stiffened. He stopped brushing the horse. "And do you want to?" Maya turned him around to face her. "Are you crazy?" "Of course not. Where would I go?" "This is where I belong. With you." Jake pulled her close. "I love you so much. Sometimes I still cannot believe you are real, that you chose to stay." "Believe it," Maya said. She kissed him softly. "I am not going anywhere, ever." "Good," Jake said. "Because I have plans for us." "What kind of plans?" Maya asked. "Big plans," Jake said. He looked excited. "I have been saving money. We could expand the ranch. Get more horses. Maybe some cattle. Make this place really successful." Maya felt excitement bubble up in her chest. "I love that idea. I have some ideas too. What if we offered riding lessons? There are no good stables around here for kids to learn. We could teach them." Jake's eyes lit up. "That is perfect. You are good with teaching. Patient, kind. Kids would love you." They spent the evening talking about their dreams, about expanding the ranch, about building a life together, about the future that stretched out before them full of possibilities. 6 months after the wedding, Maya woke up feeling sick. She ran to the bathroom and threw up. Jake was right behind her, holding her hair back and rubbing her back. "Are you okay?" he asked, worried. "Should I call the doctor?" Maya looked at him. A thought was forming in her mind. A wonderful, terrifying thought. I think I might be pregnant." Jake froze. "Pregnant?" Maya nodded. "I am late. And now this. I think we should get a test." They drove into town together. Maya bought 3 pregnancy tests. She wanted to be sure. Back at the ranch, she took all 3 tests. They all came back positive. Maya walked out of the bathroom holding the tests. Jake was pacing in the bedroom. He looked nervous. "Well?" Maya showed him the tests. "We are going to have a baby." Jake stared at the tests, then at Maya. Then he let out a whoop of joy and picked her up, spinning her around carefully. "A baby! We are having a baby!" Maya laughed and cried at the same time. "We are going to need a bigger house," she said. "I will build you a palace," Jake said. He set her down gently and put his hand on her still flat stomach. "I will build our baby the best nursery. I will build you anything you want. I just want you," Maya said. "You and this baby. That is all I need." Over the next months, they prepared for the baby. Jake built an addition onto the house, a new bedroom for them and a nursery for the baby. Maya painted the nursery walls a soft yellow. They did not want to know if it was a boy or girl. They wanted to be surprised. Maya's parents visited often. Her mother was excited to become a grandmother. Her father was already talking about teaching his grandchild to ride horses. The ranch was doing well too. They had expanded like they planned. They had more horses and had started offering riding lessons. Kids came every weekend to learn. Maya loved teaching them. She was patient and kind, just like Jake said she would be. One evening, Maya and Jake sat on the porch. Maya was 7 months pregnant now. Her belly was round and the baby kicked often. Jake loved to put his hand on her stomach and feel the baby move. "Do you ever think about how we started?" Maya asked. "How angry I was. How much I did not want this." "All the time," Jake admitted. "I think about that angry girl in the expensive dress who looked at me like I was dirt on her shoe." Maya laughed. "I was awful to you. You were hurt and scared," Jake said. "I understood that. I never blamed you. What made you agree to marry me?" Maya asked. "I have never asked you that. What made you say yes to my father's plan?" Jake was quiet for a moment. "Honestly, at first it was just for the land rights. I needed them to expand the ranch. And your father said you needed protection. It seemed like a good deal for everyone. But then I met you. And even when you were angry and mean, I saw something in you. Something real. Something worth fighting for. You saw all that?" Maya was surprised. "I saw a girl who was trying to be strong even though her world was falling apart," Jake said. "I saw someone who had never been allowed to be herself. Someone who needed a chance to bloom. And I wanted to give you that chance." Maya felt tears in her eyes. Pregnancy made her emotional, but this was more than that. "You saved me," she said. "You saved me from a life that was killing me slowly. I did not even know I needed saving until you showed me what real life could be." "We saved each other," Jake said. He kissed her forehead. "You saved me from being alone. From just working and existing but never really living. You brought joy into my life. Love, purpose." The baby kicked hard. They both felt it. Jake laughed and rubbed Maya's belly. "This little one is going to be so loved." "So loved," Maya agreed. "And so lucky. To grow up here on this ranch with wide open spaces and animals and real life. Not like your childhood?" Jake asked gently. "Nothing like my childhood," Maya said. "I had everything money could buy. But I did not have freedom. I did not have real love. I did not have purpose. Our child will have all of those things." 3 weeks later, Maya went into labor. Jake drove her to the hospital, holding her hand and telling her everything would be okay. He stayed with her through every contraction. He wiped her forehead with a cool cloth. He told her she was strong, that she could do this. After 12 hours of labor, their daughter was born. She was tiny and perfect with dark hair like Jake and Maya's dark eyes. Jake cried when he held her for the first time. "She is perfect," he whispered. "You are both perfect." They named her Elena Rose. Elena for Maya's grandmother. Rose for the wild roses that grew near the ranch. Maya's parents came to the hospital. The chief held his granddaughter with tears in his eyes. "She is beautiful," he said. "Just beautiful." "She is a gift," Maya's mother said. "The best gift." Maya watched her father hold Elena and remembered standing in his office being told she had to marry Jake. If someone had told her then that she would be here now, happy and in love with a beautiful baby, she would not have believed it. But life was strange like that. Sometimes the worst things led to the best things. A week later, they brought Elena home to the ranch. Jake had finished the nursery just in time. It was perfect. Soft and warm and full of love.